The police found Frank's cell phone. It was in our garden. They're building a case against you, Conrad.
Well, it's a case they're gonna lose, Victoria, because, well, I am so sorry to disappoint you, my dear, but I'm innocent on all counts. And I suggest you start backing me up, because if I end up getting framed for this, I'm gonna see to it that everything you cherish so dearly is ripped from those greedy little claws of yours.
Careful, Conrad. You should know by now I don't respond well to threats. What is this?
This is the deed to Grayson Manor.
And what about the shares to the company? I told you they were a deal breaker.
I'm not gonna relinquish Grayson Global, Victoria, not to you, not to my father. Settle now, and I'm gonna see to it to get full cash value for all your shares. Well, at least tell me you're gonna think about it.
Which by any court's definition would qualify as duress. Therefore, she's entitled to a full 50% of all assets accrued during the marriage.
Duress? Marrying me was the best thing that ever happened to that woman.
Also been some interesting discoveries about your client's past indiscretions.
Any infidelities my client may have participated in from a legal standpoint was avoided by your client's affair with Ms. Davis.
I'm afraid we're talking about a much more serious breach of trust here, Ryan.
Do you know the name of my favorite aunt? The one who raised me? Well, Victoria does. She named her Charlotte. Same as my aunt. I think that she did it to send me a message that the little girl she was raising with Conrad is mine.
Where did you get this?
My dear, that's hardly the issue.
We will be ordering a paternity test.
And if Charlotte isn't mine, I can assure you that the only way you're going to keep this from the media is to walk away from this sham of a marriage with whatever I deign to give you. Which won't include the Grayson name, by the way. When we're done with all of this, you're going to be back to Victoria Harbor, which is only fitting considering you'll once again be the desperate, penniless little bitch you were when I first met you. No, somehow I think it's my soon-to-be ex-wife who's going to draw the most unflattering spotlight. I need to speak with her in private.
That might not be the best.
I would advise against that.
It's not a request.
Must you drag Charlotte into all this?
Me? That's rich. Here are your options, and they are limited. A, you accept the pittance I'm prepared to offer you in exchange for avoiding a trial. Or B, we take this to court, and it becomes common knowledge that Charlotte is the daughter of the most hated man in America, meaning you had a torrid love affair with a terrorist.
David Clarke was no terrorist, and he was twice the man you ever were.
Well, you're gonna have a very hard time convincing the rest of the world of that, so what's it gonna be, Victoria? A or B?
I did everything you asked for. And now you're prepared to throw your children to the wolves and leave me with nothing, all because of your wounded pride?
Well, I instruct Barbara to send over my final proposal. Rejected. And whatever happens to Charlotte will be on your hands. See, I'm not half the fool your mother has clearly painted me out to be.
Okay, look, I know that you're bitter over everything that's happened between you and Mom.
It doesn't even begin to cover it.
But assuming you were ever in love, there has to be a part of you that still remembers how you felt when you first met her.
You're right. I fell in love with her, Daniel. And I fell hard. My first marriage was already a disaster when I walked into the little art gallery in the village and I saw your mother for the first time. And yeah, I'm sure I felt about her then the same way you think you feel about Emily now.
Except I'd never treat Emily the way you're treating Mom.
No, you say that, but you'll be at each other's throat in the end. You'll see. You'll cheat on her, she'll cheat on you, and then one day you'll find out she's been keeping a secret so big, it'll destroy your whole family.
What secret? What are you talking about?
Well, you know, you're so cozy with your mommy. Why don't you let her tell you? Well,
secret like
everything
that?
she's been through. Come on, Daniel, if you're this easily manipulated by your mother, I shudder to think what Emily is going to do to you as your wife.
So, as one marriage begins, I understand another one's coming to an end.
Dad?
Vicky called me.
Of course she did. The idea was to keep our separation discreet, but what the heck?
Give us a moment, will you, Dan?
Yeah, sure.
You're in hot water, boy. I shouldn't have to tell you what a negative impact a hostile divorce can have on our company's bottom line, especially if our assets are forced into a public tug-of-war between you and your old lady.
Well, I've got that situation well in hand.
From what you told me, your life's in a free fall. You're on the verge of taking a wrecking ball to the Grayson name. My name.
That's from Victoria, I assume? Your source has her own agenda, Pops.
Precisely why I'm here. I didn't build my empire from the ground up so I could watch your domestic failure single-handedly tear it down.
Victoria, is this true?
Listen, he doesn't know what really happened with David Clarke. Murder and terrorism weren't his only crimes. What happened wasn't Mom's fault.
Is that the story you're spinning these days? Astonishing the lengths you'll go to for self-preservation.
Not another word, Conrad. I am warning you.
She's right. Charlotte doesn't deserve to be in the middle of this.
No, she doesn't deserve to be in the middle of it, but she's right in the center of it. And she has your mother to thank for that. You said that you could handle anything as long as you have me. Well, you have me always. And it's time you know the truth. David Clarke isn't just Amanda's father, he's your biological father as well.
I will never forgive you for this.
And I'll never forgive you for inviting that bastard into our bed.
She didn't invite him, Dad. It's not what happened.
No, that's exactly what happened, Daniel. Whatever you think you know, that man never attacked your mother. No. And it wasn't just one night. It was an ongoing affair.
No, you're wrong. Mom, tell him. Mom, tell him.
So much for the possibility of a friendly divorce.
No, she'll settle quietly. I'm making sure of that.
Do I have to remind you what happened to this company the last time David Clarke's name was associated with it?
Why are you talking to me like I'm the one who slept with him? She did this to our family, willingly.
I am less concerned about her sins as a wife than I am about your sins as a father. What kind of a man forces his children to participate in a charade like this?
You did when you taught me that perception is reality.
In business, Conrad. This is family.
It's the same difference, isn't it?
If that is all I passed on to you, then you should understand why I am suggesting that you step down as CEO of Grayson Global and we begin to groom your son to take your place. Clearly, Daniel is the only one left willing and able to stand up for what's left of this family.
You can't be serious. He's just a kid.
He's older than I was when I started this company.
All due respect, you might have brought the Grayson name to the company, but I brought the Global.
All due respect, son, I am still chairman of the board.